So, although I've lived in London for the last 15 years, I am Dutch, so it's like a home match for me today. And as you've experienced yourself this week, you now understand that only a Dutchman would move to London for the weather, because it's been pretty grim. But it's been an amazing week. I think the downside of speaking on the final day is that I've had so many amazing conversations with folks that my voice is starting to go. So if I need to drink some water during my talk, please bear with me. All right, so let's talk about Helio. So we've joined Solana, So we've joined Solana on this journey to revolutionize payments and revolutionize digital commerce. And I think in the process, we have a shot of achieving mass blockchain adoption, because we truly believe that payments is going to be the #1 use case for blockchains. And the reason why is because it's such a common use case in the real world. People are paying every single day, and most people do that. So we're not going to have to change too much behaviors. So let's start with why blockchain payments. It's obvious to many of us in this room, but not so obvious to many people in the normal world. If you are merchants selling on the internet today, you typically receive your money via 5 intermediaries. They each take custody of the funds. They each take a cut before it gets moved along the value chain. Blockchains instead can now securely settle online payments for the very first time between 2 people without any intermediaries, fully peer-to-peer. So Anatoly here can send a digital dollar to his buddy Raj on the other side of the world without being dependent on banks, payment networks, etc. It means that buyers and sellers can settle money instantly at very low cost. But crypto payments is not a new idea, and it hasn't taken off. Most of you will probably know this story. So this chap on the left, his name is Laszlo. He paid 10,000 bitcoins for 2 Papa John's pizzas in 2010. The chap here on the right is called Jeremy. Apparently he didn't hold on to them, and I'm sure he's kicking himself. So ever since then, folks have been using crypto as a method of payment. There's an elephant in the room, which is that the UX sucks. If you're going to have to open a complicated wallet, press a bunch of buttons to send money to an address that you don't fully understand, and then subsequently wait for 20 minutes for the money to arrive, of course, not many people are going to be using it. And then speaking of UX, is this not a solution looking for a problem? Because how are we going to beat the Apple Pay user experience, which is arguably the gold standard in payments? The answer is that we already can. If you are crypto savvy, like folks in this audience, if you have a Phantom or other wallet that's fully funded, you can already pay on a pay link on Solana through Helio and benefit from a faster, better user experience. And that brings us to the crux of the problem, which is the lack of adoption of crypto wallets is the biggest barrier for mainstream adoption. And we've known that since day one. So the first product that we built was a media paywall. It allowed a user to unlock a little bit of content with a single click of a crypto wallet. So we went to pitch this demo to an executive at the Daily Mail at a swanky office on High Street, Kensington in London. He looks at the demo and he's like, guys, this is amazing. This is exactly what we need. So tell me, how many of these Solana wallets are there in the UK? We turn around, we go like, that's probably about a couple 100,000, and it's growing very rapidly. So he smiles at us and he goes, that's a really small audience for us. Please come back when it's 10 million wallets. So we've known from day one that if we're going to succeed in this space, we're going to have to onboard users as part of the solution that we offer. And we talk internally about this concept of crypto grannies. So what does that mean? So if Granny is going to buy a Mad Lads hoodie for Jakey for Christmas, spending a digital dollar, she's going to have to be able to do so without owning any crypto in the first place or even knowing what blockchain is. And we're making some really good progress towards that. I think we're about 1/3 or maybe 50% of the way there. So with Helio, you can already embed a checkout in your website. It has a hidden wallet, fully self-custody, Granny can use a card payment, and the merchant will always receive instant digital dollars. And if we're going to use blockchain for payments, we must use the blockchain that's most suitable for that use case. And of course, that's Solana, super fast confirmation, finality of transactions, and really low cost of gas. Of course, there's alternatives. There's Lightning Network on Bitcoin, which has a lot of support from people with a lot of clout in the industry. There's layer 2s on Ethereum that can do the job. And those might emerge as winners. We have to be realistic. But there's no doubt that Solana, from a technology point of view, is the best chain for payments. And that's exactly why we're here building on Solana. So, amazing, cheap, and super fast infrastructure is not enough. If we want mass blockchain adoption for the payments use case, we're going to have to enrich payments with a useful workflow. So a workflow that's actually usable for specific use cases. And we're going to have to deliver a delightful user experience to chase that elephant out of the room. And that's exactly what we're focused on at Helio. And I'd like to show a little video impression of how we do that. Yeah, woo, let's go. So, I'm personally in love with this Super Mario themed soundtrack. It was actually composed specifically for this video. So I think the team did a really awesome job on that. So about Helio, we founded the business 18 months ago. We've been on mainnet for 5 quarters. We've seen 3,000 sellers sell all goods and services, 75,000 buyers. In the process, generate about $50 million in annualized payment volume. And sellers fall into 2 categories. So first, they are creator types, or also what we call internet entrepreneurs. They're digital platforms. They sell digital collectibles. They sell content. They sell memberships to communities, or any other digital good. Second, they are e-commerce merchants that sell physical goods. Anyone can log into the Helio dashboard with an email address. We create a self-custody Solana wallet for you, or of course you can also log in with your own crypto wallet, and then you can get started with one of these workflows that you see up here. For instance, in a couple of clicks you can spin up an invoice. If you're selling an ebook, you can upload your file. In a few clicks you can create a product page and then start earning instantly with digital dollars. Each workflow is designed for a specific use case, and they also integrate with digital platforms typically. So let's take a look at a few examples. First of all, Helio for events. Super excited to have been working with Ellie and the team on Breakpoint ticket sales last year as well as this year. Some of you here in the room might have purchased with USDC that was powered by Helio. You can see the UX here behind me. We set out to make the UX even better and slicker than had you paid with your credit card. And thank you, Austin, for the really kind words. For us, the interesting part here was to integrate our API into the backend ticketing system. So a user would pay with USDC and instantly receive a confirmation email and their tickets as part of the process. All right. Next up is Helio for platforms. So we power payments in the Magic Eden Creator Hub, And that's aimed at pre-mint projects. So we've helped hundreds of creators sell millions of dollars in the run-up to mint. We can white label and customize our platform for digital platforms. That's what you're looking at here, both the checkout side as well as the customer dashboards. And it's been a really awesome partnership to date. And then Helio for e-commerce. So about 15% of our volume comes from this use case. So what do merchants want? They want to sell more. And they love Helio because we help them reach a crypto-savvy audience who love transacting with their MetaMask, with their Phantom, with their Soulflare, with their backpack wallets. Also, we help these merchants off-ramp their digital dollar earnings through our dashboards. And another area of interest is high-risk merchants. So high-risk merchants tend to suffer from really high chargebacks, and that costs $50 to $70 a pop. So Helio can fully eliminate that cost base because we make the payment workflow 100% DeFi. It's very easy to embed Helio into your website. We also have this little credit card option, this process with the kind of hidden self-custody wallet. We also have plugins for the major e-commerce platforms. So WooCommerce is a great example. We're one of 5 approved crypto plugins. A couple hundred stores are powered by Helio payments already in the Woo ecosystem. And then we're super excited to work with Josh and the team on the Solana Pay plugin for Shopify. So we're an official partner there. And we're now working really hard to onboard a ton of new merchants to use Solana Pay within Shopify. And our objective is to get to 1 million in GMV very, very quickly going into 2024. And then Helio for community, one of my favorite use cases. So it's very easy to have community effects with Helio because we have this Discord integration that's super slick. We have affiliate links. We partner with no other than AcidDash. They're the masters of community-based selling. So any creator can partner with AcidDash, spin up a product, and then we handle the revenue share on-chain in real time. If you'd like to check it out, scan this QR code. You can sign a microtransaction to enroll into our Breakpoint giveaway, and then you can see the Discord claim process. Digital collectibles, cornerstone use case for any payments platform. We've helped thousands of creators sell millions of dollars in pre-sales in the run-up to mint. You can spin up a private listing on a Helio Pay link. We also airdrop NFTs as part of any sale, if that's what you want. And that means that an NFT can be, a proof of purchase, a ticket to an event. It can be a discount voucher. I want to give a shout out to the Underdog Protocol team. We use their API to mint CNFTs every time a user purchases. Subscriptions, super easy for a creator or a SaaS business to spin up a recurring payment on Helio for monthly subscriptions. Leading RPC provider Triton is a really good example, or Hello Moon. Recurring payments on the blockchain is actually a really, really hard problem to solve. There's projects dedicated to that. In the Ethereum space, there's a company called Superfluid. Shout out also to SpherePay in Solana, who's doing a tremendous job there. I don't think we're quite there yet in terms of, it's not as easy as hitting a monthly credit card, but we're making some really awesome progress. And then Helio for traders through our TradingView integration. So traders want to sell access to their charts, and that's exactly what they can do with Helio. So we work with a bunch of trading communities, including top-tier signals. So they have a chart with buy-sell signals on the Bitcoin charts. They use a Helio Pay link to sell access to that chart, and through an API integration, we immediately give users and buyers access to those charts. All right, Helio for streamers. So our vision from day one is that digital goods are just the best use case for crypto payments. And as you can see here, any creator can upload a video to Helio, create a paywall, or actually gate access to a YouTube or Twitch video, and then a user with a single click can get through that paywall. Transfer value from a fan to a creator, fully permissionless, no tedious signups, ultimate privacy, because of course your wallet is also your identity. We believe in a future where more and more paywalls on the internet are going to be permissionless. It's going to reduce a ton of friction and offer an alternative business model. Because if you can pay for content with a micropayment instead of advertising, then that's a really exciting monetization model. A little bit about KYC and security. So a DeFi payment flow does not require KYC, but that's exactly what we offer. And the reason why is because we want to raise the bar, set higher standards. I think we all agree there's too many frauds and bad actors in the space, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We can just use fintech best practices to offer KYC. We integrate SumSub for creator KYC, Persona for merchant businesses, KYB. And do you know what? Actually, the vast majority of folks that sell with crypto want to verify to get that trust. And speaking of trust, I think trust is table stakes in any business relationships. In crypto, somehow it's okay to be anonymous. Scams are seen as an occupational hazard. And that's not good enough if we want to achieve mass blockchain adoption for this payments use case. So we focus a ton on customer trust. Shout out to Adam on our team. He's done an amazing job building out our customer-facing organization. Doesn't matter if you're a DGen or Amazon.com, you're going to get the white glove treatment from Helio. A little bit about us. So a nice picture there of my co-founder, Jimbo. He's chilling somewhere here in the audience while I'm doing all the hard work up here. But no hard feelings, because Jim and I have worked together for 20 years. We've built SaaS companies. We've had 2 exits under our belt. Jim is amazing at building engineering organizations, scaling tech platforms. I'm focused on product, figuring out go-to-market motions with our team. Amazing group of talented engineers, product experts with diverse backgrounds. Thank you for kicking ass, team. And then I will also say that building in Web3 comes with specific challenges that are new to us. It feels to us this race is very much going to be a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to have to stay fresh and not get caught up into the emotions that exist in the space. And that's my advice to anyone building in Web3. All right, so we raised money in April, seed rounds. Super happy to have these amazing investors on board. Peak Capital, they're actually based here in Amsterdam, were their first Web3 investment. Faction, which is part of the Lightspeed VC family. Rockaway X, amazing team out of the Czech Republic, very active in the Solana space. And then, of course, Solana Ventures, who have been amazing. All right, kind of want to finish up with this slide. A little bit cheesy to talk about mission and vision, but we think it's important. So we've talked about how blockchain payments can really revolutionize the way that payments work on the internet, because it's cheaper, faster due to the permissionless nature, and that's going to drive a ton of improvements in digital commerce. The problem that exists is that the UX is not accessible for the average user today. So that's what we're focused on. We focus on these workflows to make blockchain payments usable for the very first time. We wake up every day with this mission to accelerate blockchain payments. And we're ambitious people. We want to build a business that can help millions of users, deliver a ton of value. And I think if we're going to be able to do that, we're going to be in a position to reach this vision of displacing traditional online payment systems. I think what we've built is an amazing start, but it's very early. There's a ton of hard work to be done before we reach this, this notion of mass blockchain adoption through the payments use case, which we think is going to be the driving force. Amazing to see so many like-minded people here this week getting behind the same cause. I want to say thank you for listening. We're in the Basecamp, booth 17, if you want to come have a chat, learn more about us. And for now, thank you so much.